Today on Animal Outtakes, it's all about lemurs. These curious creatures have an interesting past, but their present and future is in jeopardy. Find out what's being done to protect these endangered animals and how you can help.
It's hard to believe it's Lemur Day again.
Yeah, it really sneaks up on you, doesn't it?
You're telling me. Would you care for another piece of lemur pie?
Oh, my. I really shouldn't. Well, what the heck? Lemur Day comes but once a year. And here comes our host, Marcia.
Hey guys, what are you doing? Having a little celebration?
What are we doing, she asks. We're celebrating Lemur Day. How is the traffic getting here?
Have a piece of lemur pie.
Lemurs are one of the most endangered animals on the planet. Tell me you didn't put one in the pie.
No, it's just coconut cream. I don't even know what a lemur is.
Oh, I'm allergic to coconut.
Lemurs are beautiful little primates that are only found on the tiny island of Madagascar. Don't you know what Madagascar is?
Sure, when my car runs out of gas, it's Madagascar.
No, Lou. Madagascar is this island off the coast of Africa.
Do I look a little swollen to anybody?
And first of all, there was a World Lemur Day, but you guys are a little late. It was October 31st.
I was knee-deep in Halloween candy.
But this year was important because it was marked the first ever World Lemur Day, a day dedicated to awareness of these curious creatures and what can be done to help protect them. So join us now as we visit the folks at the Lemur Conservation Foundation to meet some of these amazing animals.
Wait a minute. It's not coconut I'm allergic to. It's rhubarb.
Yeah, it's in there too.
Lee, we're here in your magical forest, and the lemurs have such a history. Would you tell us about that? It's deep.
It's a very deep history. You know, they're 60 million years old.
Oh, they're holding up well.
It's like they're living fossils.
Lemurs are prosimians, a kind of primate that is neither ape nor monkey, and they are man's farthest living relative. They make their home on the island of Madagascar, which is off the east coast of Africa.
They rafted over from Africa, these tiny little lemurs about the size of a mouse, and then they adapted to the island of Madagascar.
Spanning more than 225,000 square miles, Madagascar is the world's fourth largest island.
So it's a relatively large island. It's about the size of Texas or France, to put it into a comparison.
Now, the lemurs in Madagascar, this is the only place you can find them, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Are they all over the region, or do they stick in a little rainforest, or where do they live?
Okay, well, man came to Madagascar about 2,000 years ago, and when man arrived, there were lemurs everywhere, lemurs of all sizes, from a tiny mouse to a lemur the size of a gorilla. But unfortunately, man needed something to eat on this island, so they started to kill the lemurs, and those large animals became extinct first. But now what's happened is, due to the poverty of Madagascar, what they've had to do is create a lot of rice fields. That's basically what Malagasy people eat, is rice. So by doing that, they took away the habitat for the lemurs, and now they lived in pocketed forests around the country. Their habitats are very small, very fragmented, and there's villagers that surround all of it. So, you know, Madagascar is basically grown up around these small tucked-in areas of forest. And unfortunately, since the culture is so poor, many of them live, over 80% live off of $2 a day or less. They have to exploit the resources that they have, and that's what comes from the forest. So whether it's trees for firewood, trees to make a chair, or if they need protein, you know, sometimes they'll actually kill lemurs for bushmeat.
And they really don't realize what they're doing.
They don't, because they're just trying to survive. It's survival mode for them.
Now, how do they feel about the lemurs? Are they sacred, or are they a nuisance?
Well, it's a little like squirrels for us. You know, squirrels are everywhere, and Malagasy people don't understand that there aren't lemurs all over the world because they've only been to Madagascar. So they do feel that they're special once you let them know that they're only found in Madagascar, but in some cultures they're actually considered to be evil spirits or spirits from the dead.
We here at Animal Outtakes have seen wonderful sanctuaries and conservation groups, and we've been with the tigers, and we've been with the elephants, and we've been with the chimps, and of course dogs and cats. But we find a magical, mystical time here with you at the foundation. Why are the lemurs so important to us?
Well, it's about their survival. You know, 60 million years old. Most animals have a hard time living through climate change, living through humans coming onto their island, living through all the aspects, all the threats to the animals. But the lemur has learned how to adapt and survive. So today we have 103 species, from the size of a mouse to about 22 pounds. And even though the humans provide more pressure to them, they're learning how to survive. And if humans come in too close to this area of the reserve, they move to the opposite side.
And they are an important link in our ecosystem, correct?
Absolutely. They're pollinators, so they eat a lot of fruit, mostly in the forest. And so the seeds that travel through the lemur's intestinal tract germinate more quickly. They become trees or plants more quickly. So they help to disperse the forest throughout the forest. It's a very important role that they have.
So we need them.
We definitely need them. And, you know, it would be sad to lose man's furthest living relative because we're not looking out for the only country that they live in. So it's going to take protection, it's going to take awareness, and it's going to take people like you and I saying, you know, these animals are important to our history, and with a little help, we can keep them.
And still ahead on Animal Outtakes.
Now, how many lemurs do we have here at the conservation?
We are up to 46 individuals, yes.
We'll explore how the Lemur Conservation Foundation is helping to grow the species here in the U.S.
Ecotourism is a wonderful way to infuse money into the country.
Plus, how you can save the lemurs, one vacation at a time.
For thousands of years, we've been humans' best friend. You've been through a lot, and we've been right there with you. A dog is part of the family, a confidant, and a friend who always knows how to get into your heart. So what happens to our beloved companions when we can no longer care for them? This is why we've created Dante's Den, an innovative, state-of-the-art facility that will provide care for up to 100 dogs.
Dante's Den is a community for joyful dogs.
Millions of Americans face uncertainty when planning for the future of beloved pets who may well outlive them. Dante's Den is a charitable organization, so in whatever capacity you can, please lend your support so that we may continue this most wonderful work.
Dante and I would like to thank you for watching and for also opening up your hearts to our wonderful community of joyful dogs.
Learn about the many ways you could become involved by visiting dantesden.org.
According to the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, 90 species of lemur are in danger of extinction, with 20% of them being critically endangered. At the Lemur Conservation Foundation in Mayaca City, Florida, they're working hard to keep these creatures around for future generations. So, we have babies here in the forest, don't we? This year was a good year for breeding for the lemurs?
It was an excellent birthing season, the best one we've ever had, the most successful one we've had at LCF. We had 10 new babies born on the reserve this year, including the twins that are in this forest that we've been watching this morning. And yes, it's been a great baby season. It's been a lot of fun watching them grow up again this year.
Now, how many lemurs do we have here at the conservation?
We are up to 46 individuals, yes. So the baby season really pushed the population numbers up. So yes, we have a really good, healthy population.
Right now, It's breeding season at the foundation, which can last up to 5 months, depending on the species.
You know, there's a very distinctive breeding season with the lemurs, and when we see breeding behavior, we record that, and we have a calendar. So we have a baby calendar. We know when to expect births, and they're pretty right on time with their due dates. And so, we can really, watch them very carefully and very closely around the time of their due date to make sure there's no complications at all.
Now, we know that you control this breeding program very, very carefully.
Yes.
And there's a very good reason for that, isn't it?
Yes, so every year breeding recommendations come out and they say which animals should breed, so they come up with breeding pairs. And so we follow those breeding recommendations by the Persimmon Taxon Advisory Group. And it just makes sure that there's good genetic diversity in the population, and you maintain a sustainable and healthy population of lemurs. So that means that there may be some individuals in that group that may have to go on contraception, or you may have to move animals around to make sure that you are going along with those breeding recommendations.
LCF is part of the American Association of Zoological Parks and Aquariums, and they take part in their cooperative breeding programs as well. Lemurs from LCF will travel across the country, even to Europe, on breeding recommendations, making sure that they are getting the best genetic qualities in their offspring to keep the line going.
What you want to do is you don't want to take an animal that's overrepresented and an animal that's underrepresented, because their offspring would be in the middle. But if you take two animals that are less represented, then their offspring only comes up a little bit, and that creates a higher genetic diversity for the entire population.
The staff keeps a close watch on the animals to make sure the pregnancy goes as smoothly as possible. Now, is the birthing process a difficult one for the mom?
Not if it's a normal birth. I mean, it should be a relatively easy process. I mean, just like with humans, there can always be complications, so we always monitor them very carefully. The moms give birth out here in the forest. As long as everything goes well, they can stay out here, and the babies can learn forest life very quickly, and they'll stick very close with mom. They'll stay on her for the first, at least month, and then they'll start to slowly gain some confidence and start exploring a little bit on their own. But mom always keeps a very, very close watch over them.
With 10 new youngsters running around, LCF is nearing capacity for these amazing animals, and a bittersweet farewell may be in the near future.
We love to keep the animals here because we definitely, become,
You're attached.
Yes, we create very strong bonds with them. But it's also part of the mission to, have this, healthy population and to spread awareness about lemurs. And if there's other institutions that are interested in housing these beautiful animals, then we will send out some individuals.
Next,
When you go and you visit the lemurs and you stay in these lodges that surround the forest, the protected forest, the villagers near that reserve gain work.
how ecotourism is helping save the lemurs. And now, here's Bud and Lou.
And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Lou Talks. I'm Lou, and I talk.
And I'm Bud, and I flutter.
Really? Maybe you had too many radishes.
Yeah, funny.
Today, we're in the jungles of Madagascar to talk to a good friend of ours, Lester Lemurs.
Thanks, Lou. It's Lemur, by the way. Lester Lemur.
Not Lemurs? Are you sure? Lemurs sounds kind of better.
No, not to me it doesn't.
Yeah, Lemurs sounds kind of more exotic. Better,
Yeah.
It's better
but
for the
no.
stage, I would think.
No.
Kind of a French thing? No?
No.
Okay.
So I gotta.
Now, hold on. Okay, so let's get to what all viewers are wondering. What do you eat?
What do I eat?
Yeah, what do lemurs eat?
I eat leaves, flowers, insects. I don't know. What everyone eats, I guess.
Well, everyone does not eat that stuff.
fruit. I eat fruit.
Yeah, fruit with insects.
Right. Man, this guy's crazy.
No. Look, I gotta.
Okay. Here's a very serious question. Who are your natural predators?
Ooh. Well, yeah.
What gives Lester the heebie-jeebies?
Right. Yeah. Well, let's see. Hawks and eagles. They get us a lot.
Ooh.
Yeah. And humans. Humans are our biggest predators.
Ooh, he's talking about Masha. She's a human.
What? Now look, Lester, I know Marcia, and she is not a predator. How dare you, sir?
I'm not talking about Marcia. I just said humans.
Lester!
Oh boy.
Lester, it's time to go.
Who's this?
Excuse me? Who are you?
Guys, this is Loretta.
Hi, Loretta.
Let's go, Lester. We're going foraging today.
They must be getting low on leaves and insects.
I gotta go, guys. See, in the Lemur Society, the female sort of wears the pants in the family.
Lester!
Coming, darling.
Well, she was kind of pretty.
Yeah, maybe his name is Lemur after all. And now it's time for the furry and famous
Animal Outtakes VI Pets.
My name is Lucy, and this is my chicken, Florence.
I am Reagan, and this is Smokey and Jacqueline. This is Buck.
Buck is 6 years old, almost 7.
He is a golden retriever.
His breed is a golden retriever, but he doesn't know how to retrieve.
I called the breeder and I found out that he had, ironically, one puppy that had not been taken. And so I told my husband that we had to drive to Orlando to get this puppy. And there he was, all by himself. He was perfect.
His breeders also bred the golden retriever puppies from, Air Bud.
He prefers anything but dog food, I would say. You know, he thinks he deserves the royal treatment, especially since he won top dog.
Right here. That's the best of 2014 for Sarasota. Top dog.
I mean, he just seems to expect better treatment now. He looks in the mirror on a regular basis.
Whenever we wash him, our other dog, he doesn't like being washed. He'll just try to squeeze out of it. But then Buck, he'll just go.
He loves it, yeah. He loves being washed. He loves attention. Here. The girls have taught him to jump a little jump course in the backyard.
Good boy. It's okay. You like
Buck was
Sort of hard because he would always, he's like a magnet to our mom. So he'd, go away.
we'd do him over the jumps, and then I would give him a treat right away, and he'd just run back in and then sit by my mom. He's a mama's boy.
He spends the day following me wherever I go. He sleeps with me, usually, right next to the bed. If my husband's out of town, he's right in my husband's spot. I can't say enough things about Buck. He's unconditional love is Buck. That's what he is. He is always there with he smiles. See how he smiles? He's always there with a smile and a snuggle at all times to make us happy. He wants us to be happy.
Madagascar is one of the poorest countries in the world, with its people living off less than $2 a day. But ecotourism is helping. That's where visitors travel to natural areas that conserve the environment with minimal impact. Now, we know that you've recently spent a wonderful month in Madagascar, so you blended in with everybody. Were they aware of your efforts here in the States of keeping the lemurs going?
Well, what we did is we went over with Dr. Ian Tattersall, who is a renowned scientist on lemur biology. And he did lectures and talks to the individuals within the certain areas that we went. But then we went even deeper. We had a naturalist guide from the area. And then we would talk to the villagers and try to understand how they felt. What was important to them is that the ecotourism brings money into the country. So when you go and you visit the lemurs and you stay in these lodges that surround the forest, the protected forest, the villagers near that reserve gain work. And when they have work, they have income. When they have income, they can buy food, and then they don't have to take from the forest. So really, ecotourism is a wonderful way to infuse money into the country. It educates you about lemurs and the habitat that they live in, the cultures of the Malagasy people, but it also provides jobs and food.
The first ever World Lemur Day was celebrated on October 31st. It was sponsored by a conservation group hoping to bring awareness of the importance of these creatures in Madagascar as well as across the globe. Lemurs are an economic asset for Madagascar, bringing tourists from around the world to that tiny island to see these primates in the wild. You have been so kind to my crew and myself, and you've taken us deep in the forest, and these lemurs are within just a couple of inches from us, and we're able to observe them. Obviously, we don't disturb them, we respect them. But when you're in Madagascar, what did you see? Do they come right up to you? Do they intermingle with you, or do they stay away?
Well, the lemurs that we see in these protected areas, they are habituated. So there are tourists that are coming through. It's not everyone who will travel 30 plus hours to Madagascar, but once you do, usually they're really dedicated to the wild spaces and wild animals. So they're up in the trees. They may be 18 to 30, 40 feet in the air, and we get what you call lemur neck because you see the majority of them quite like this, but you can get up pretty close to them, and you can spend a very long time watching them groom, like we saw today, and interact with their cohorts, these matriarchal family groups. These ladies keep the line together, they keep the family together, so they have a very strong presence in the forest.
One of the major issues threatening the lemur's survival is deforestation and illegal logging.
Asia tends to come over and collectively get individuals around a village inspired to chop down wood. If there's rosewood and ebony, those are precious hardwoods, and they make extravagant furniture out of that type of wood for millions of dollars. But now, since the people are so poor, they're looking for money, they're cutting down wood that would make a chair or a hut. They travel that to China and they make paper from it. So whenever you're buying things, especially paper or furniture, make sure it's from sustainable sources.
At the Lemur Conservation Foundation, their dedication to conservation and preservation of the lemurs and their successful breeding program is playing a big role. There is hope that someday the animals that are conceived and grow up in the forests in Mayaka City could potentially join the wild population in their native homeland.
We hope one day that the protection in Madagascar will be better than it is now, and that maybe someday we can reintroduce some animals, because our habitats are going to have animals that have a much different skill set, much different musculature, hand-eye coordination. They learn how to avoid aerial predators. They know how to jump from tree to tree. This skill set will be very important one day, but only if these animals can be protected.
Well, we're here deep in Mayaca City, and we're going to do our best to keep those lemurs happy. The Lemur Conservation Foundation is located on a luscious 100 acres in Mayaca City, Florida. The center is not open to the public because of the research being conducted on site. If you would like to learn more about lemurs and how you can help protect these amazing animals, visit lemurreserve.org. And it looks like that's a wrap on this week's Animal Outtakes.
I loved it. I'm a learner of lemurs. I'm a lemur learner.
We hope that you've been inspired to take action to help protect the lemurs so that these amazing animals can be around for future generations.
Well, I'm certainly doing my part. I got a bunch of them staying at my place over the weekend.
Well, now, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah, they're very curious, you know.
Hey, do you know your cable's out? Or am I using the wrong remote? Why do you have all these remotes?
Join us again next week for another outstanding animal adventure. See you then.
Shall you say your name?
Marcia Panucci. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I gotta stop and think what my name was. She never asked me my name. I'm a creature of habit. What?
Can
she fly?
Sort of. She falls on her face.
She's gonna show you.
Okay, that's a good shot.
On cue.
See what I have to put up?